How's it going, ladies and gents? KJ here. This video is a little different. I'm actually going to be explaining why YouTube destines these smaller channels to fail. This is way above me. I just felt like it's necessary. I just want to rant about it because, damn, man, it's like, I know I've taken a long break, but seeing all these newer channels, seeing all these small channels just like me, I notice a trend with all these channels. They have this one video that's just extremely viral, and then they have a bunch of other videos, 100 plus videos. Some are pretty well done. It's just, mic quality and all that, mine included. They just have that one viral video, and that viral video can range from 3,000 views to 40,000 views, and they could still be sitting at around a couple hundred subscribers, and it's not the subscribers' fault for that. It's the algorithm itself, the way that they've structured this algorithm over the years. Back in the day, I've had this YouTube channel since early 2016, and when I started out, my content wasn't for everyone, and most of it is deleted now, and it's very cringe. You guys can actually go back and watch some of that cringe stuff if you want. I'm gonna be real with you guys. YouTube is a shit show. Starting a channel is a shit show. I was talking to a friend about this, and he was like, damn, man, you're really concerned about this. And I was like, yeah, because I'm going off in the military soon, but I also want to remain productive as I'm like working out, studying, got to keep my weight up, all that kind of stuff. Like in the meantime, I just want to remain productive doing something. And one thing I love doing is playing video games. And some games, or just my PC as a whole, I can actually either teach people certain things that I've learned over the years, or just have entertaining content. And I see plenty of channels just like mine, and all of them end up the very same way, unless you want to dedicate an entire year building up an audience. Yes, I've taken several long breaks over the course of the past 7.5 years. Quite a bit of breaks, yes. And that's all my fault. That's all my doing. The thing is, if you are a small channel trying to succeed in the YouTube platform, I'm not here to be nihilistic about this, but the algorithm is against you. It's not for you. They're just trying to push out the most popular videos by the most popular creators, and this is quite obvious. Some creators do get that recognition. I do get some suggestions for smaller channels, and I'm just like, okay, hey, that's cool. And this guy actually does have some really valuable information. It's just the YouTube algorithm it may have recommended his video to me, but for the mass majority of people, they don't watch smaller YouTubers. And how they come across these guys usually is what I gathered over the years is watching other small YouTubers, and you'll start getting suggestions for these smaller YouTubers. But if you were to go on the platform brand new with a brand new account, I can guarantee you it'll all be big channels, well-known names, and that's the way it is. It's all driven by money and monetization, all that. People do this as a hobby. As of right now, I'm doing this as a hobby, but doing this as a hobby and not reaching out to a wider audience, that kind of sucks. But I always wanted to remain original to my content, and I didn't really want to deviate from that, and it's like a trend follower. I just never really wanted to go that route. I know it's an easy way to make money. There's so many different social media accounts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, of course YouTube. These guys, they abuse making other people's content into their own, and I've noticed this, and I'm just like, wow, dude, come on. The more original content used to be more praised back in the day, used to be more cherished, and now it's gone. This platform has kind of went down the drain. And I was watching a video earlier of a guy explaining and ranting. I'll actually leave his video in the description. I stumbled across it, and wow, this really hit home for me as well. He was talking about how YouTube is now trying to make creators pay for views. And what I mean by this is these creators that have somewhat of a following, but their following isn't getting their videos recommended to them, they're actually starting to advertise this to the guys saying, hey, we noticed your watch time's going down, and of course you're a bigger channel, you can be monetized, but hey, you want to put some ads on the video, get your video out there, pay us and we'll do that. You know, he was explaining that that's just complete bullshit, and I agree. This platform at one point used to be great for expressing yourself, and I nowadays you got things like age restriction if, you know, you curse within the first 7 seconds or something. I've heard about that. I was like, damn, that's really fucking stupid. You know, like we have a YouTube Kids platform specifically for kids, and if your videos aren't recommended for kids, which I always click no, this video is not for kids, it dictates what you actually say. I mean, sure, we've had so many controversial channels in the past, like Leafy's here, you know, iDubbbz was doing some stuff, Filthy Frank, all those guys. All of a sudden you don't see people trying to express their comedic side, and even if it is dark humor, it's like, bro, some people just want some really good entertainment. Like, you know, when you go to a comedy club, there is hardly any restrictions. I mean, people talk about just a range of topics that are absurd, but it's laughable, it's comedic, and it's funny, and a lot of people relate to these topics that these people in the comedy clubs make. Obviously YouTube isn't like a virtual comedy club, but it's, you know, I feel like it's a platform in which you can express yourself, and I feel like for those smaller channels, especially the channels that want to remain as an original content making channel, it's much harder to do that these days. It's easier just to follow the meta, which is now stealing other people's content and reposting it as your own and getting paid through AdSense and eventually sponsorships depending on what they do, and it's kind of bullshit. Like this same guy I was talking about earlier, talking about how it's bullshit that YouTube makes you pay for views, he was also saying that YouTube is literally trying to block AdSense and Brave from blocking ads. And it's like, wow, you know, you're a multi-billion-dollar company and you're just being penny pinchers at this point. What the hell are you guys doing? Like, you guys are dictating what people are now saying on the site for a couple years. You're catering the site more for children, even though you guys have your own YouTube Kids section, and there's plenty of channels that are very kid-friendly, and that's their oriented content. But for the majority of more mature audiences out there, yes, I mean, there's plenty of people who just want to find a relatable video or an entertaining video that isn't like child-friendly, because they're not children anymore, man. Like, and not even that, it was just back in the day, like I was saying, I mean, yeah, there was very controversial figures, and some of them got banned for what they were doing eventually, but for the longest time, YouTube was a platform in which you can express yourself in any way almost any way possible. I mean, of course, you got to steer away from hate topics and subjects, and that's a given. You just, you know, you shouldn't even be expressing those kinds of things on a public site to begin with. Just spreading propaganda that's hate-filled and all that. That I understand. Of course, it's a site in which it tries to remain professional, which is okay. Even back then, you know, hey, there was, you know what's crazy is that there is these educational, quote-unquote, channels that were at one point and still to this day, because there's a loophole with quote-unquote educational videos. These women are cleaning the house in minimal clothes, and I'm sure they're still on the site. There's women that are breastfeeding on camera, and it's with their children, and that's completely illegal to do. Come on, like, you know. And some of these titles, I was watching Moist Critical like a month ago talking about this subject with a woman that was eventually charged for what she was doing because of her suggestive titles and sexualizing a breastfeeding video, and I was just like, bro, what the fuck? These topics are more allowed on this platform than people just freely expressing their humor and just themselves in general. You can't fucking say shit or fuck this the first 7 seconds of your video, but hey, if you want to fucking show your tits on camera, go for it. You know, like, what the fuck? As long as it's educational, what the fuck? And then, I mean, there's channels that talk about drug use and all that, saying that it's educational. And I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, yeah, a lot of those channels, they can be educational, and I'm not saying they are, or I'm not against, channels that are actually trying to spread awareness about certain subjects and things out there. But at the same time, that could be abused, and people like it makes no sense, because there's so many loopholes in this system that is poorly monitored, and it's monitored by AI, and they even know that it's bullshit. Like they know that, oh, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but then if you try to appeal something that's as simple as a title that could make your video age restricted, they'll say go fuck yourself. So, I mean, it is what it is, and that is pretty fucked. But that, to me, this whole YouTube platform, getting onto it, becoming a creator on YouTube, or at least attempting to be one, is completely fucking, like, it's everybody's dream, right? Everybody who's been on this platform and seen these creators prevail and actually make some really, really entertaining content and watch them over the years grow. I've seen this one guy on the gun side of YouTube who was just making videos talking about him living in California and the gun laws and all that, and also reacting to these gun safety fail videos and putting his advice out there. He went from 5,000 subscribers to 100,000 within a month off of his shorts, and I'm just like, that is extremely impressive. I'm glad to see that there is still subjects out there that are getting that kind of attention, but for the mass majority of people actually starting a channel, it is a nightmare, and you gotta be ready for it. You just gotta make it for fun, man. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. If you guys were thinking about it for a while, give it a shot. I'm not trying to steer anybody away from making their channel and possibly getting somewhere with it. All I'm trying to say is spread awareness for the fucked up things and the fucked up policies and the loopholes in which YouTube is a complete shit show of a platform nowadays. It is not like how it used to be. I know I'm 21 years old. I've been watching this platform since I was 8 or 9 years old. I've seen it go from a site with, people like Spears the Amazing Person left and right, like expressing himself and just having a good time and just being a very funny guy, to now, like, you see these old YouTubers that used to just curse like sailors and express themselves freely on the platform. Now they gotta be kid friendly, bro. And a lot of those bigger YouTubers as well also try to follow TikTok trends and all these new trends that are coming out, because that's what keeps them relevant. And I'm not bashing on any of these guys following that meta, because at that point it is their career. That is their lifeline. That is what's making them their money. So it makes sense for somebody that deep to actually have to just cater for this shitty algorithm that YouTube has created for all of its creators, and new creators are at a huge disadvantage. And it used to not really be like that. Like, I guess you could say it's hard to start off anywhere, but I'm going to tell you right now, YouTube being successful on a platform like this is probably going to be almost a chance of like winning the lottery in a sense. But I mean, winning the lottery is still a very slim chance compared to successful on YouTube. But I mean, it's somewhat comparable, but it's definitely possible. And for anybody that wants to try out YouTube, and see where it goes, go for it. By all means. I love to see these new channels and see like what they do and how they express themselves, because these newer channels are actually the most unfiltered and they like to express themselves. They don't know much about the policies or anything like that. Kind of like me, I got age restricted, didn't even realize it. I literally made a short of me playing LSPDFR, and my title was "A Naked Woman Wanted for Indecent Exposure," and I got age restricted, which actually makes a lot of sense. But that is the video title, and that is why I got age restricted. But I get it, but I see all these other shorts that are using a loophole, and they're making suggestive content on their shorts, getting millions and millions of views. and then I try to do something funny on GTA, but hey, it's too graphic, dude. Oh god, age restricted, bro. But I'm recommended these videos with women talking about how suggestive they are. They're cheating on their partner. Do you really want your kids to see that? Like, that's not age restricted? Come on, dude. But that's enough of my ranting. I'm KJ Kid or Kidders, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And yeah, I just wanted to express my opinion on this subject. See you guys later.